This is Between the Breaks
Real talk, right between the breaks.
with Brooke Hunter and Kadie Daye.
Hello, Kadie.
Hello, Brooke.
It's hot.
I know. Don't rhyme me. Jeez.
Did you have a good weekend?
I did have a good weekend.
Awesome.
It was a hot weekend.
Yeah.
But it's going to stay warm, but at least like the conditions are supposed to be cooler as we get into tomorrow. And I think that might have to do with the rain. I'm not sure.
Well, I heard Matt Wynn say at some point during the week or over the weekend, this coming weekend, it's going to get down into like the low to mid 80s.
Good.
And I was joking, but not really, that low to mid 80s is going to feel like a cold snap compared to what we have right now.
Right.
You know?
It is kind of weird how your body adjusts to the heat.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you drop off and then it's like, whoa, this is really cold.
Yes.
But, you know, I can imagine like people are going to be paying for possibly ice bags at the gas station.
Absolutely.
And Dollar General, I think, is the cheapest place to get ice. But speaking of prices and convenience of things, when's the last time you bought something out of convenience and you ended up paying more than you were what it was really worth? Because for me, I was at the airport.
Yeah.
And
you pay like crazy prices at the airport.
Yes. And I forgot my charger the last time I went.
You bought a charger at the airport.
I had to buy a charger. It was like $64.
It's crazy.
But I had to.
I definitely have been at airports where, yes, I've paid stupid amounts of money for one thing, I don't like the food they serve on planes. So a lot of times I'll get to the airport at a Starbucks or they'll have some fast food place and I'll grab something before I get on the plane, which I think it's better than what they serve on the plane, but it's so expensive. So I have done that. Well, you know, I was driving when I would drive into work in the morning. I would stop off at a convenience store or a gas station to get a bottle of Coke. I was paying, I want to say like $2.88, so let's just say $3 for a bottle of Coke.
Doesn't seem too much, in terms of bottles, but it adds up.
If you go to a grocery store or a big box store and they're having a sale, you can get a 6-pack for practically that, maybe a little bit more.
Yeah.
But you're getting 6 instead of 1. So that's probably the last time. What about you? Oh, well, you just said the charger.
But speaking of pops, though, my dad, every time we go out to eat together, he'll get like a Coke. And Coke, I mean, obviously comes with free refills, but it's like $3.
Sometimes, not all the time.
Well, most of them. Okay.
Yeah.
So even theoretically, let's say you get a free refill.
Okay.
It's about $3.79 for a cup of Coke, which is filled with ice. So you don't really get a full can.
No.
And then a lot of times you might not even get that free refill. So you might up the price of the item on the menu, anticipating it, but they don't even do it.
Tell me if you feel the same way. I feel like the more conveniences we have, the lazier we get.
100%.
So we lean into all those conveniences, fully willing to pay more. I mean, look at DoorDash.
True. Like a $5 item could be $15.
My son, when before he has a job now, but before that, he would do some door dashing on the weekends, and he was here in the region one weekend, and it was a Saturday night, and he's like, Mom, I'm going to door dash here and see what it's like. You want to come with me? And I was like, sure, why not? So we got in the car, you know, we're listening to music, just kind of hanging out and chatting, and he's going and doing his dashing. Well, one place we went, and I was like, who does this? So he went to McDonald's.
Okay.
And he got, I don't know, a burger, fries, and a Coke, whatever it was.
Okay.
The person who was doing the door dashing, they paid like, not even, it was more than double what you would pay if you just walked in, drove to McDonald's and walked in and got it, or even went to the drive-thru and got it.
Yeah, like that's the price you pay for convenience. It's insane.
And I used to be really, really bad. Like I was a big fan of DoorDash, and I still am. I love it.
Yeah.
But now what I'll do is I'll go to the app and I'll look and see what there is, and then I see what I'll pay for it, and 9 times out of 10 I'm like, I can probably find something at home that might not, hit quite as well in terms of what I want, but it'll do.
Yeah, DoorDash is, I feel like I only really use it if it's an absolute need.
Yeah.
And for example, like when I lived by myself and I was in my apartment and I was sick, I would DoorDash soup and like cough drops because I just felt so awful. It was way better to pay extra than to suffer and go out.
But to just be lazy, I don't feel like getting in my car, or I don't feel like walking to my kitchen and making something, that's where, I have to stop myself and put myself in check and be like, you know what? You can get up and you can boil some pasta.
It's tough though sometimes.
I know.
Because you're like, I'm just like, especially today's Monday.
Yeah.
Like it's like Monday mood. I don't want to.
I know. And the other thing with the weather, as hot as it is, and I mean, I'm always hungry. I'm always wanting to eat something. This past weekend, I've not been that hungry.
You need to drink more water.
I drink so much water. I mean, I had one Coke this morning.
Yeah.
And I was like, it was okay. It didn't really hit the spot. I needed the caffeine and the sugar, but the water is what I crave more.
Well,
just
that's
because
good.
it's so hot, you know?
Water, too, I think helps regulate your appetite.
It probably does.
So I'm pretty sure I went to a doctor for like my vocal cords once, and she said that like water helps so much that you don't even realize. And I'm pretty sure she said that was one of them.
Well, somebody once told me our bodies are made up of like 80% water.
Yeah.
So drinking water is a really good thing.
Yes, and you're going to need a lot of that today.
Absolutely. I'm going to go from the air-conditioned studio to my air-conditioned car to my air-conditioned apartment.
With water.
Oh,
and
I got it right here.
Oh, there you go.
Yep.
Perfect.
Between the breaks.
Kadie, it's another hot day.
I know. I thought it was supposed to cool down by now.
Well, okay, here's what I thought. I thought it was supposed to cool down, but the humidity was going to stay around.
Yeah.
But according to Matt Wentz, the heat and humidity are sticking around at least until the weekend. But then
great.
We do have a chance for rain, which is good because I guess, we need rain.
I think that'll cool it down, hopefully.
I think it's going to make it more humid.
I don't know, but you know what I do know is I was traveling on the toll road over the weekend.
Yeah.
And it was already getting hot.
Yeah.
Well, I went into a service plaza, stopped and got gas,
Right.
and like did a little quick coffee run. When I walked in, it said, "Please pardon our sweaty floors."
I didn't know that floors sweat.
I didn't know either. And I was like, at first, I just kind of glanced at the sign and kept walking through. And I was like,
Yeah.
wait a minute. Sweaty floors? Like, are people sweating on the ground?
I would think that it was, well, I mean, I don't know. You know how it gets so hot that some roads buckle?
Oh, yeah.
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe it's just like the shock from the, like, serious heat. I've never heard of floors sweating.
Yeah, I didn't either. I took a picture of the sign because I was stunned. But
Were the
apparently,
floors wet?
It was a little slick because my shoes were squeaky.
Okay.
I kind of like rubbed my shoes to see how sweaty the floor really was. But at the service plaza on the toll road, it said, please hold on to the handrails because the humidity in the service plaza is causing like
Well, I could understand
perspiration, basically.
Okay, I could understand that. If it's so humid, some of the humidity that like condensation might be on the floor.
Condensation's the word that they use.
Okay, but
not perspiration.
Call them sweaty floors. That's funny.
Yeah, I was like, wow.
I don't know if you ever check, but like whenever it's extremely hot or extremely cold on my drive into work, I'll just see what the thermometer is on my car. It was 80. I think it was 82.
On the way in today?
On the way in at 3:45.
Whoa, that is warm. And you know what else too? The car sometimes like is so warm when you get in because you haven't put the air on yet,
right?
That it tricks you. I got in the car the other day. This was on the same day I was on the toll road, and it said 104. I'm like, no way.
Same thing happened to me on Sunday because my car was sitting outside in the sun, and I had to run to the store and grab something. And I was like, whoa, it says it's 102. But then once I turned the car on and started driving, it dropped to 95.
Yeah.
It was still hot. And there comes a point where it's so hot. Does it matter if it's like 92 or 96?
Right. It's just hot.
It's hot.
And would you rather be too hot or too cold?
Actually, I asked that question today.
You
would
did?
you rather, on the Facebook, the Z107 Facebook page. I honestly would rather be too hot. I hate being cold. I hate being cold.
Here's the thing though. If you remove so much layers, like
I know
you could get a fine.
That's true.
Yeah, but if you're so cold, like you can always add more layers.
So like, here's my theory. This is like my whole theory, which is irrational probably. But okay, in the summertime, like I like buying summer clothes because it's more fun.
Yeah.
In the winter, I have the same clothes for winter that I've had for like the past 20 years because who cares? The whole goal in the winter is to be warm and to be comfortable.
Yeah.
So it's not a fashion show.
Well, also kind of like how you just said, like there's more like times to shop in the summer. There's more vibrant colors for summer clothes. And then in the wintertime, because it's all about warmth,
look how
it's all
vibrant I am
gray.
today.
Oh, look at this, like floral, pink, blue, purple.
Pink,
Oh, look at this.
See?
It looks like the guy I saw who came into Rosewood Family Restaurant yesterday, almost in a Speedo.
Almost in a Speedo in a restaurant?
Yeah. I mean,
talk about almost getting arrested.
I mean, it was like booty shorts, but
really?
I was proud of it. He had good legs. I mean,
all right.
I wasn't bad to look. I didn't check him out. I didn't look too far, but I noticed that it was like pink floral print, and I didn't even bat an eye because I'm like, it's so hot out. I don't blame you.
I actually think men in pink is kind of cool.
Yeah, what's in?
So, all right, I don't know what I'm going to do today because it's just so hot. I mean, my pool still isn't even open.
Yeah, that's so rude. They need to get on
Isn't that
that.
rude?
This is the week you would be using it.
I would go there and I would take a nap.
100%.
Absolutely. Well, I can't do that. So I'm just going to go home and sit in the air conditioning.
Do you have a bathtub?
Yeah, but it's not the same.
Yeah, I know it's not the same. In college, they only had showers. So a bunch of us, bought this giant tub.
Did you really?
Yes. And we had, spa nights, and we'd alternate who used the tub.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, except it was not comfortable because it was, one of those tubs that's for basically carrying your clothes.
Oh.
So it was, really cramped and one-person tub.
Yeah, no. I'm not going to get in my tub. I'll just sit in the air conditioning.
Between the breaks.
We were in the car yesterday together, going somewhere. And I don't even know how the subject came up. But we were talking about pulling up to stoplights. Well, you know what? It's because we drive at such just bizarre hours, yeah, 3:30, 3:45 in the morning. So we're talking about being out at that hour. And I was saying that when I pull up to a stoplight, I always make sure, and it doesn't matter if it's night or day, it happens all the time, that I always leave enough space between me and the car in front of me so that I can get out if I have to.
So a little more than a car length.
Or
about
maybe
a
even
car
a little
length.
less, just enough so that you don't have to do any backing up. But if for some reason something happens and you feel like, oh, this isn't a good situation to be in, you can just pull right out and you can drive off.
Yeah, you don't want to think that there could be something bad, but I was actually told something very similar by this guy who I basically consider my uncle, a family friend. He and I were in the car one day, and I guess I got too close to the car in front of me at a red light, and he said, you need to be careful because if someone gets close to your back bumper and then they pin you so you can't back up and the car in front of you gets out to do something, God forbid, then you have nowhere to go and you're in trouble. And I never even thought about that until he said that to me.
I think that I learned that I know I was living in Chicago when I learned this, and I was probably either in high school or college, and now it's so ingrained in my head that it doesn't matter if I'm in an urban environment, suburban, country, whenever I pull up to a stoplight, I would say I leave 7 or 8 feet between me and the car in front of me. And I don't know why I do this, but if there's a car behind me, I'll look and I'm like, man, they're close.
Oh, yeah.
If
I can't see your headlights behind me, you are too close.
Yeah.
It's same with trucks, though. And there's signs on several semis that say this, that if you can't see my mirrors, I can't see you, get back.
Well, when I was in my 20s, I had a Miata.
Okay.
And, fun little car. It was convertible, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But trucks can't see you in those cars, and buses can't see you because they're so tiny.
Oh, didn't even think about that.
And I would drive it on the highway sometimes. I mean, plus it was a real inconvenience to take to Costco. So you couldn't put a lot of stuff in there. But, there are cars. But, the whole, leaving space between cars at a stoplight. And I had a friend, and I won't go into detail, but it came into play with her because something happened. Not the car it was a car in front of her. Something happened that was just very unsavory. And she had to make a quick escape, and she had small children in the car. And had she not had that space between her and the car in front of her, she wouldn't have been able to do it.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's scary. Because also too, flight or fight plays into that too. Obviously in that moment,
you want to fight.
No, exactly. But sometimes I feel like a situation happened with me, driving situation, not super scary, but there's that one intersection / three-way stop when you're coming off of 30, pulling into the Strachan Van Til parking lot there.
Yes.
And everyone else has a stop sign except the people coming off the highway.
Right.
So they have the right of way. Whoever's turning in there from 30.
Yes.
So I was turning that direction, and this guy had a stop sign, thought he was his turn to go, cuts me off, and I was so stunned I didn't even honk my horn. You ever have that happen to you?
I try so hard not to use my horn because I feel that some way people interpret that as being aggressive.
Right.
So the only time that I will use my horn is if somebody is literally going to take off the front end of my car or something on the road. They don't see me if I'm in their blind spot or something and they're going to come into my lane, then I will honk. But if there's somebody in front of me and they're going too slow, I'm not the jerk. By the way, anybody out there, I'm not the one honking, intending for you to go faster.
Right. And there's polite honks. And there's mean ones.
Beep, beep.
Hey, politely, the light turned green.
Yeah, but I don't even do that most of the time, you know? And especially these days, because you just don't know how people are going to react.
Oh, exactly.
So, anyway.
And another thing we talked about on our car ride is you don't know how people are going to react and stuff, and you never know who's in the car next to you. I don't like when we're driving early in the morning and the sun's not even up yet, and I'm at a red light and the person on the other lane pulls even with me.
No, I don't like that either.
Like, don't be directly even with me. I don't want you looking in my car.
Contact.
Yes, exactly. And then I'm tempted to look over because I'm like, why is your window even with my window at 4 a.m.?
I know, but you don't want to make the eye contact.
Right, so I'm not looking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so that right there concludes Brooke and Kadie's driving lesson for the day.
You're welcome. Take that with you on your driving exam.
Between the brakes.
So, Kadie, I did something yesterday that I'm sure everyone has done like a gazillion times. Well, not a gazillion, but many times before. That I've never done before.
Oh, you did something for the first time. That's exciting.
Well, kind of, sort of. It was good. I went to Dairy Queen and got a Blizzard.
A Blizzard? You've never had a Blizzard?
No, I mean, I've gone to Dairy Queen before.
Yeah,
I've gone
but
there
you've
a
never
lot.
had a Blizzard.
I've never had a Blizzard. I don't know why.
That's like their specialty.
See, when I go to Dairy Queen, I always get the soft serve and dipped cones, like with the hard shell.
Those are good.
They're really good. But I don't know. I'd never had a Blizzard until yesterday.
Okay, so did you even know how to make it, or were you like, how do I do this?
No, I knew. I mean, my son has had Blizzards before, so I knew what they were. I myself personally had just never had one. So I got the Butterfinger Blizzard.
Oh, like one of the predetermined ones?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Oh, can you make your own?
Yes.
Oh, I see.
That's why I didn't know.
No, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I thought you just had to order off the menu.
No, you can pick whatever like toppings you want. That's why I asked, like, were you confused on how to make it?
What's your favorite Blizzard?
Okay. I love, like, I'm a chocoholic.
Me too.
And even if I went to something like frozen yogurt, and in my head that's supposed to be healthier, I still get all the sweets. So if I'm going to Dairy Queen for a Blizzard, I'd put chocolate ice cream with Oreos, cookie doughs, M&Ms, possibly a shot of hot fudge.
Wow.
I have problems.
No, that sounds really good. See, I didn't realize you could make your own.
Yes.
I thought that you just ordered whatever was on the menu.
Well, you can do that too, and there's some good ones. Like the cotton candy Blizzard does really well every year.
I saw that, and I thought about that one. I saw the cookie dough. I thought about that one.
The cookie dough is good. I substitute chocolate ice cream though.
You can also the Blizzard's typically made with vanilla ice cream.
Yeah, you can change the flavor of the ice cream too.
Yeah. See, I didn't know all of this.
Now you got to go again.
Well, I'm for sure gonna go and get another Blizzard. Not today, but I mean, absolutely. I don't know. I've been living under a rock, I guess.
I won't tell if you get another one today. Back-to-back days. No one will know.
It was really, really good, and I only got the small. I mean,
there's a lot in there though. When you get toppings and stuff.
There is. I mean, it was heavy.
Oh, yeah.
You know? And then, of course, the dogs wanted some. I let them each have one tiny little lick. Just one.
Off your same spoon?
Oh, I don't care.
See, I think that's sweet. It's like your children.
You know what they say? They say dogs have some of the cleanest mouths.
Okay, I heard that's a myth, though.
It might be.
It might be.
It might be. I don't know. I'm going with it, though, because then I don't feel like icked out when I know my dogs have eaten something off of my fork or my spoon. Because, I do that all the time. I share with them.
Ignorance is bliss.
Oh, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
So, a Blizzard. First time Blizzard person here.
That is exciting. I also did something for the first time yesterday.
What did you do?
I went to Singo.
What's that?
It's like bingo, but through song.
Really?
Yeah. And so you get a bingo card. This is at Aftermath, by the way, in Valparaiso.
Okay.
And I drove out there, and then they give you a bingo card, but it's got all these different songs on it, whatever the theme is for that night.
Do you have to sing?
No, but some people did.
Okay.
Because they knew the song, and collectively, everyone in the place was screaming.
Uh-huh.
And then when the Cupid Shuffle came on, because it was one-hit wonders.
Oh, I love one-hit wonders. Okay.
Yeah, it's like all the best. Like, in a genre that can only be all the best, it's literally just all the hits.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that.
So we're there, and the Cupid Shuffle came on, and people started getting up and dancing to it.
Okay, let me ask you this. Like with bingo, with Singo, can you win money?
I think you could win gift cards, is what it was.
That's all right. That's all right. That works.
I couldn't see the prizes because I was a big loser last night.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
You know what? We'll have to talk about these games more because there's one game that I started playing. It's such like an old lady game.
Oh, no.
My mom turned me onto it. Have you ever played Bunko?
I've heard of Bunko. I've never played it.
Bunko is so stupid, but it is so much fun.
Okay, you're going to have to show me how to do it.
I'll show you how to play Bunko.
Okay, thank you.
Between the brakes.
Kadie, I'm going to just say this right now. Like, we have to be careful because we could talk about this for like an hour.
Okay. Full disclosure, we will try not to ramble.
Right. So you and I were talking off the air yesterday. I made it a Facebook question today. You know, what's a kid show that you watched with your kid that you ended up loving and would watch even when your kid wasn't around?
Yeah.
So you and I both agreed that iCarly is just like one of the best shows ever.
My dad will ask me if I want to watch iCarly with him now.
That's how I am with my son.
Yeah.
I'll be like, do you want to watch iCarly? And he's like, yeah. Victorious was another one. One that we failed to mention yesterday is Drake and Josh, and today is Drake Bell's birthday.
And you know, iCarly is played by Miranda Cosgrove.
Yes.
And she was on Drake and Josh's Megan.
I know, and she was so evil to them.
She was so evil.
She was
when
awesome.
she was iCarly, like the lead person,
She
Carly.
was super sweet.
I know, I was like totally different
Yeah.
character here.
Yeah. Oh, SpongeBob.
SpongeBob is a great one.
So my favorite episode of SpongeBob, I think, is The Best Day Ever.
That's a great one and so catchy. There's so many good songs from SpongeBob. You kind of forget like the campfire song.
Yo, yeah.
And then the Sea Bear episode, and you had to draw a perfect circle.
I remember the Sea Bear.
I was scared of sea bears.
Were you?
I was like, I can't go in the water.
And then I'm sure you saw it, but you had to have watched the SpongeBob movie with David Hasselhoff.
Oh yeah, you know they made like a ginormous sculpture for that scene.
That is so cool.
There's a picture
when he was
of him
surfing, when he was like body surfing.
Yes, they took a picture of David Hasselhoff standing next to the sculpture.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
So I can still watch SpongeBob and be thoroughly entertained. I could still watch Drake and Josh. Did you ever see their Christmas special, their Christmas episode?
Of SpongeBob?
No, Drake and Josh.
Oh, yes.
Where they made it snow in San Diego.
Yes, that was
That's
actually
cool.
really sweet.
I love that. And another show, my son was like a full-on groupie addicted to the Wiggles.
I loved the Wiggles. Actually, the Wiggles now, because it's not the original Wiggles from before, but nowadays, the Wiggles that play on the show, they are very, very visible on TikTok.
That's so fun. I've got to tell my son, and I'm going to start following them because I love the Wiggles. We've gone to 3 Wiggles shows.
No way.
Yeah.
Like performances?
Oh, live shows, live concerts, because they would travel the country just like any other band.
That's cool.
And they performed. And I was telling you this off air, they are the highest grossing musical act out of Australia.
That is so, like, shocking. But if you think about it,
you got AC/DC.
Yeah.
They're Australian. Olivia Newton-John. And I know that I'm going to be missing some here. The Bee Gees.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they're technically British, but they've lived in Australia. I mean, so you have all these just really huge artists, but no, the Wiggles. The Wiggles have made more money than any of those people.
The Wiggles have longevity, and they span generations in a way that AC/DC, it might be, like, tough for them to do.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I would pick the Wiggles over AC/DC, to be completely honest with you.
I love the Wiggles. And you have to follow them on TikTok because I'm obsessed now. I watch them in adulthood on TikTok now.
You know what, though? The other thing about the Wiggles is their songs are super catchy.
Fruit salad, yummy, yummy. I could listen to that on repeat. It's so
Toot,
good.
toot, chug a chug, a big red car.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can't sing. I'm tone deaf. But yeah,
Same.
I mean, I love the Wiggles. So yeah, there are so many kids shows. Well, not so many. I'll tell you one that I absolutely positively despise.
Is it going to be Peppa Pig?
No, I never watched Peppa Pig. No, Caillou.
Oh my gosh, Caillou was so like bratty,
and he whines.
Yeah,
that's all. Mom, I'm hungry.
That's a really good Caillou impression.
He always whines.
Yeah.
So yeah, and my son did like Caillou, and when he'd watch Caillou, that's when I'd be like, I gotta go in the other room and wash dishes or something. Like I couldn't watch Caillou.
I'd rather wash dishes than watch
I'd rather
Caillou.
fold laundry than watch Caillou. Thank you very much.
Well, a lot of parents were against Peppa Pig. That's why I thought it was going to be that, because they blamed Peppa Pig for their kids' behavioral issues.
Really?
Yeah, because they said that she had rudeness, disrespect, and bossiness, and that contributed to their kids having disrespectful tendencies. So they blamed it on the show, and then I guess they did like some thing where they, like, parents teamed up and they stopped showing their kid Peppa Pig.
Oh,
and they actually stopped acting up.
No, we never watched that.
I love pigs, though.
I think he was aged out by the time Blue's Clues became like a big thing, so I didn't have to watch Blue's Clues.
And speaking of Blue's Clues,
I know the guy is doing
Steve Burns, the original.
He just announced, was it yesterday?
Yes.
That is he doing a podcast? Is it a podcast?
Podcast in the fall called Alive, and it's for adults, and it's because he posted this video randomly a few months ago, checking in with us now that we have student loans and big jobs and families.
Yeah.
And people filled his comments with, please do this for adults now. We need it. And so he decided, I'm going going to.
That's cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, listen, it's going to be nice this weekend. Supposedly my pool's opening tomorrow.
Good.
Well, we'll see.
Okay, fingers crossed.
I'll believe it when I see it.
It better.
This is Between the Breaks
Real talk, right between the breaks.
with Brooke Hunter and Kadie Daye.